The heist is done and the police are on their way. Can you escape out of town before the police close in? You've only got one chance. The Getaway Driver. Getaway Driver is a fast and frantic game for 2 players that takes between 30 to 45 minutes to play. As an asymmetric game, the 2 players will perform completely different actions and have completely different win conditions. One player takes the role of the driver, a daredevil motorist pulling a variety of crazy stunts, racing to escape out of town. The other player takes the role of the police, armed with an array of vehicles, equipment, and the city itself, working to corner the driver before they escape. There are 45 city tiles in the game. Once the final tile is placed, the driver has made it out of town and wins the game. The driver has a pursuit meter that advances each time the police share a city tile with the driver, and retreats each time the driver is alone. If the pursuit meter advances to its final space, the driver is caught and the police win the game. Never fear, the driver has several tricks up their sleeve to avoid getting caught. They start the game with a handful of driver cards, which allow the driver to bend the rules and escape the long arm of the law. In addition, hazard tokens will be placed on tiles all around the city. While the driver can get around hazard tokens, the police are nowhere near as safe and must steer clear to avoid crashing. But not so fast. Hazards aren't all good news for the driver. Each time the driver encounters a hazard token, they must discard one of their driver cards to get around it. Run out of those, and you're basically a sitting duck. To set up Getaway Driver, start by selecting one player to be the driver and the other to be the police. The driver places the pursuit meter card in front of them, with the pursuit meter token on the leftmost space on the card. The police place the police reference card, escape tile, police vehicles, barricades, tire spike, hazard tokens, and enforcement tokens in front of them. The driver selects 5 driver cards to use this game, returning the rest of the driver cards to the box. Driver cards are kept secret from the police, so no peeking. The police take all police upgrade cards into their hand. Now it's time to prepare the playing area. The driver scatters 5 stash tokens onto the table. The police then adjust the stash tokens, ensuring all tokens are between 1 to 2 card lengths away from the nearest token. Don't worry, exact measurements are not required. The driver places the start tile anywhere they choose on the table, with the driver car facing any direction. Finally, the police place the rest of the city tiles in the bag. They then place a single patrol car roughly 2 tile spaces away from the driver, facing any direction. 2 tile spaces can be 2 horizontal spaces away, 2 vertical spaces away, or 1 horizontal and 1 vertical space away, resulting in the patrol car being diagonal from the driver. No matter where the patrol car is placed, it will begin on the table and not on a city tile. And with that, the chase is on. A round of Getaway Driver consists of the following 3 phases. 1. The police expand the search area. 2. The driver makes their escape. 3. The police close the net. Expand the search area. You can't have a car chase without roads. Each round, the police must fill any open spaces immediately to the left, right, and straight ahead of the driver. The police draw the appropriate number of tiles from the bag to fill these spaces. On the first turn of the game, the police draw 3 tiles from the bag. On future turns, some of those spaces may already be filled. In that case, the police will only draw the number of tiles necessary to fill the open spaces. After drawing the city tiles, the police secretly review the city tiles and then place them face down in the open spaces. If there is a stash token in the space, place it on top of the city tile. There are a number of different types of city tiles that you'll come across. Green light tiles represent rural areas of the city with clear roads. Hazard tokens are not placed on green light tiles. Some green light tiles, called midtown tiles, provide additional benefits for the driver when they enter the tile. Check the list of midtown tiles in the rulebook for details. Yellow light tiles represent urban areas of the city with a potential for mayhem. When the driver enters a yellow light tile, they may choose whether or not to drive recklessly and cause a hazard token to be placed. Red light tiles are the most congested areas of the city, with a pre-existing road condition. Under most situations, a hazard token is placed on a red light tile when the driver enters the tile, whether or not the driver wants it. Tiles with a stash token on top represent areas of the city previously prepared by the driver for their escape. No matter what color the city tile is, a hazard token is not placed on a city tile with a stash token when the driver enters the tile. City tiles with police vehicles, barricades, or tire spikes on them have already been cleared by the police. If the driver enters a tile currently occupied by the police, no hazard token is placed, regardless of the tile's color. Many city tiles have a police badge on them, representing areas of the city the police have under surveillance. Each time a city tile with a police badge is revealed, whether or not the driver enters the tile, the police gain the number of enforcement tokens indicated on the badge. If there are not enough tiles left in the bag to fill all open spaces, the police must place the escape tile. The driver immediately escapes through the escape tile and wins the game. Make your escape. After the city tiles have been placed, the driver is ready to go. On their turn, the driver performs the following actions. Study the road. Before they move, the driver may choose to flip over and reveal one or more adjacent city tiles. This allows the driver to get a better feel for the road conditions they will be careening into. However, cautious driving does have its price. Each time the driver flips over a tile in this manner, the driver must advance the pursuit meter token one space to the right. Also, don't forget, the police earn enforcement tokens from each revealed police badge, so studying the road is a surefire way to help build the troops. Studying the road is optional, so use it wisely. Move their car. The driver must move their car each turn. They may move onto the city tile immediately to their left, right, or straight ahead. If moving to the left or right, the driver must first turn their car in the direction they are heading, and then move forward. The driver may not change the direction their vehicle is facing until they move again. If the driver moves onto a face-down city tile, the tile is flipped over to reveal the road conditions the driver is facing. If they move onto a tile with a stash token, the driver takes the token for future use. Trust me, you're going to want that later. Any police vehicles that were occupying the same city tile as the driver at the start of the round are pursuing the driver. If possible, pursuing police vehicles will automatically follow the driver when they move onto a new city tile. When is it not possible for a pursuing police vehicle to follow? There are several driver card abilities that can be used to slip through their net. Also, if the driver moves to the tile directly behind the police vehicle cannot follow and is no longer pursuing. For example, if the driver and a patrol car were sharing a city tile, with the driver facing north and the patrol car facing east, the driver might decide to turn left and end their turn on the west tile. Because the patrol car cannot turn 180 degrees, it cannot follow the driver. This is a great way for the driver to slip out of the police's net without spending a driver card. Deal with the road conditions. Depending on the type of city tile the driver moves onto, a hazard token will be placed. When encountering a hazard, the driver must either perform a stunt or back up to the previous tile. To perform a stunt, the driver must use a driver card whose hazard icon matches the icon on the city tile. For example, in order for the driver to get around a road closure tile, they must either play a drive on two wheels or narrow alleyway stunt. When performing a stunt, any pursuing police vehicles will crash and are returned to the police player. If the pursuing police vehicle has an ability which allows them to avoid crashing, like the police motorcycle or armored car, they can use that now. If the driver does not have a stunt that matches the city tile, or if the driver would rather not use one of their driver cards, they must return to the city tile where they began their turn. Make sure to leave the driver car in the orientation it was when it entered the new city tile. In this case, pursuing police vehicles will just stay where they are, which is bad news for the driver. Use driver cards. The driver may choose to use any number of driver cards during a round. Driver cards are dual purpose, with a stunt on top and abilities on the bottom. You've already seen how stunts are used to get around hazard tokens. Abilities, on the other hand, allow the driver to bend the rules of the game in some way. Abilities can be played in a variety of times throughout a round, depending on the specific ability. Check the list of driver abilities in the rulebook for a full rundown. When playing a card from your hand, either as a stunt or as an ability, place the card face up in the discard pile. Once played, a driver card becomes public information. Either player may look through the discard pile at any time. The driver may also play a card from their discard pile. To do so, the driver spends one stash token that they previously collected. Both the driver card and the stash token are then removed from the game. Close the net. After the driver has completed their turn, it's the police's time to shine. On their turn, the police will take the following actions. Move police vehicles. Any police vehicle that has not already moved this round while pursuing the driver can now move. Just like the driver, police vehicles may move one space left, right, or straight ahead. If the police vehicle is moving to the left or right, they must turn before moving. However, unlike the driver, police vehicles may also decide not to move, or just turn 90 degrees and remain on their city tile. Police vehicles may travel on any face-up or face-down city tile, as well as through areas on the table that do not yet have city tiles. Police vehicles do not reveal face-down city tiles, and do not cause hazard tokens to be placed, no matter the color of the tile. However, if a police vehicle were to move onto a city tile that already has a hazard token, it would crash. Unless the police vehicle has an ability that prevents it from crashing, it should find an alternative route. Checking for pursuing vehicles. Once the police have moved, they should check to see if one or more police vehicles are on the same city tile as the driver. If so, congrats! That vehicle is now pursuing the driver. Advance the pursuit meter token one space to the right. Remember, if the pursuit meter token ever makes it to the final rightmost space, this game is over and the police have won. However, if there are no police vehicles on the same city tile as the driver, move the pursuit meter token one space to the left. The driver is in the clear for now. Purchase upgrades. The police collect enforcement tokens each time a city tile with a police badge is revealed. If the police have collected enough enforcement tokens, they may spend them to purchase one police upgrade each round. Check the list of police upgrades in the rulebook for all the options. To purchase an upgrade, pay the indicated amount of enforcement tokens. If the police upgrade card is still in your hand, place it face up on the table. If there is an associated token, place it on the table. Follow the same rules as when you placed the first patrol card during setup. The police may purchase multiple of the same upgrade, up to the number of components in the game. For example, the police may purchase up to 3 patrol cars. If one of those patrol cars then crashes during the game, the police may purchase it again, bringing the total number of active patrol cars back up to 3. Some police upgrades have special abilities that require spending additional enforcement tokens to use. Once the upgrade has been purchased, the police may use its ability once each round. For example, after spending 4 enforcement tokens to purchase the police motorcycle upgrade, the police can then spend 1 enforcement token to give the motorcycle an extra movement action. The driver had better look out. After the police have completed their turn, play returns back up to the top, with the police expanding the search area. Repeat this cycle until either the escape tile is placed and the driver wins the game, or the pursuit meter token advances to the final space and the police win. Tips for the driver. Escaping out of town is no easy feat, but if you follow a few of our driving tips, you'll be slipping through the police's net like a pro. Nothing is worse than wasting a driver card getting through a hazard when the police are nowhere around. As long as you are in the clear, take the time necessary to study the road. You're going to need every trick you have to make it out. Focus your efforts on collecting stash tokens so you can reuse driver cards after they have gone to the discard. Remember, driver cards aren't the only way to escape the police. If you can move directly behind the police vehicle, they won't be able to follow, and the heat will be off. Save your driver cards for those moments when you really need them. If there is a direction that is clearly superior to head, the police have probably prepared a nasty surprise for you. Get into the mind of the police and think about where they would place various types of city tiles. Sometimes the best direction is the one the police would never think you would go. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Rather than just running from the police, it can sometimes be beneficial to let them get into pursuit. You've got several rounds before you are caught, which, if you play your cards right, is plenty of time to help that police vehicle crash into a road hazard. Okay, this one probably goes without saying, but the police helicopter is really hard to shake. When you see that bad boy hit the streets, it's time to turn and run. Tips for the police. The driver is one slippery devil. Thankfully, your arsenal is more than enough to see them behind bars. Don't give the driver a free pass out of town. Whenever possible, make sure there is at least one police vehicle ready to pursue the driver at every turn. Once a driver card has been played, it becomes public information. This can help narrow down which stunts the driver still has available and which city tiles will be impassable walls for them. When placing city tiles, think carefully about where you think the driver will head, and place the most advantageous tile in that location. Though if you're playing against an especially clever driver, they might know you're going to place the nastiest city tile in that location. So sometimes a bit of reverse psychology might be called for. Both the armored car and the police motorcycle have special abilities that allow them to avoid crashing, but you've got to spend enforcement tokens in order to trigger them. If you find yourself facing a hazard token without an enforcement token, those vehicles are no better off than a measly patrol car. Whenever possible, don't pursue the driver with an armored car or police motorcycle without a few extra enforcement tokens to keep them in the game. Finally, it can be tempting to save all your enforcement tokens for the big helicopter drop. But sometimes taking that long to unleash your barrage will give the driver all the road they need to escape. Just remember, a fleet of patrol cars can be just as lethal. Thanks for watching this quick overview of Getaway Driver. Check the rulebook for more details about the specific driver abilities and police upgrades. Be sure to enjoy the game, and most of all, please drive responsibly.